Welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your boy Citizen QWADJO. If this is the first time you're seeing this face on your screens, kindly subscribe, like, share, comment as well, because your comments are always welcome on this YouTube channel. On this channel we only talk about developmental issues that are going to develop our various countries and Africa as a whole. Those are the things that we talk about on this channel. I've always said that I will not go with that fanciful notion which says that we are not capable of managing our own affairs. Africa is poor. It is a fallacy. We are not poor. The continent, the land called Africa is not poor. It is basically because few cartel of people by name politicians, these people who are mostly greedy, amass wealth for themselves and their unborn generations rather than amassing wealth for the people who voted them into power. And that is why Africa has always been considered as poor. But a continent full of natural resources, full of talents, shouldn't be at the mess, or in this mess that we are finding ourselves. But it is what it is. We need to talk about something today. In Ghana today, there's been this issue circulating, and I want to talk about it. The Komenda sugar factory is gradually rotting. Yeah, it is rotting. The Komenda sugar factory is a factory that was, built by the former president, John Dramani Mahama, to start producing sugar in large quantities for citizens in Africa and in Ghana, and then for export as well. He commissioned everything before he left office. But today, the factory has been left, and everything has just started. In fact, it has even rotten. The roofing, everything has just rotten. Yes, in Ghana today. It was a banter, or it has been a banter on social media for days now, for weeks, let me say, for weeks. Before he left office as a former president, when the incoming president, which was Nana Akufo-Addo, was assuming office, he said he was going to complete everything that Mahama started. It is not true. He didn't even continue. Now let me start from how this whole issue came up. When Mahama was building, or when he finished building the factory, they said there was lack of materials. Sugarcane for the production was not there. So there was no way the factory will function, because the factory was built, but there wasn't materials. And you ask yourself once again, to what extent will a whole country, will a whole president, yes, build a factory, and the factory doesn't have materials for the factory to be able to function. So the factory was built and there wasn't any plan for materials. There is no material, or there are no materials to enable the factory to function. So taxpayers' money, or it was a loan. Loan was, we had the loan, we built the factory, and the factory has now become a white elephant. We can't use the factory to do anything again. So I ask, when former President Mahama was building this particular factory, did he in any way consider that there should be sugarcane farm? Did he ever in any way, was those around him ever told him that, or was the Minister of Trade by then told him that, Mr. President, there is the need for us to get the materials first before we build the factories? In fact, this is a simple common sense. You want to build a house and you don't have the land and you are buying building materials. How do you expect to build? Are you going to chew them? Mind you, they will rot. The cement will rot. Yes, the materials will get spoiled. This is common sense. You won't even do this in your homes. And you got a loan, you came back, and then you built a factory without materials. Now fast forward. After he left office, President Akufo-Addo assumed office. And guess what? The mess continued. You came to meet a factory which wasn't rotten. What stopped you from getting the materials? How much will it cost Ghana to get a sugarcane plantation? How much? You people move from this country, go to abroad, go and acquire loans for in fact unnecessary things. Some of the things that you go and borrow the money to come back to Ghana to come and do, they are just unnecessary. And the whole factory which can in fact employ people, thousands of youth, thousands of people have been left to become a mess. And the most annoying thing is we are going to pay for this loan. Generations upon generations are going to pay for this particular loan that was used to build this sugar factory. And the certain president didn't get any advice or didn't ever think of it that this is a way of employing people. Because it hurts so much that we live in a country where we don't have any national policy. So you come, you do whatever you feel like doing, you leave it just like that. Mahama started something. Let's just assume, okay, he didn't get anyone to tell him that we need to get, or he has already committed the mess. Fine. The factory is already there. What stops you or what stops Ghana from getting a plantation farm? A sugarcane plantation to feed this industry, to feed this factory. The farm itself is an employment for people. The farm itself was supposed to be an employment for people. People will be employed to work in those farms. One, we've created employment over there. When the sugarcanes are ready to be harvested, they come back, you get people to harvest it, they bring it to the factory where you are going to employ thousands of people to work in the factory. But out of political stupidity, I wouldn't say, yes, it is political stupidity, out of greediness, out of I just do not know how the right word to use. It doesn't make sense. You want to score political points. Why don't you continue this? And then everyone will see that you are a generational thinker as a president. Because you came to meet a mess. You didn't leave the mess because you knew that it was money that Ghana is going to use to, we need the money. We need the factory to be running to be able to pay that loan. But you left the mess. And now we've lost everything. We've lost every damn penny that was used to build that factory. And this is why I say that African politicians we the citizens, or we those who voted for them, always look stupid for voting them into power. When you were coming, you told us that, you were going to continue whatever Mahama started. Although Mahama also didn't continue most of the things that the late Professor Mills started. But should we continue like this? Should it continue like this? You came to meet a mess. Why don't you add value? Why don't you change the narrative? But you came, you saw the mess, you left the mess, and now Ghana is going to pay. Meanwhile, your children and your great-grandchildren are not even going to pay a penny from this. But as usual, the pure water seller, the plantain seller, the coconut seller, those that have nothing to show, the poor teachers, the poor lecturers, the poor nurses, the poor policemen, the poor military men. We are those who are going to pay for this. So you just do not care. You are not a generational thinker. How can we leave a factory that can employ thousands of people to get rotten just like this? And you think you're a generational thinker? That is a big shame, Mr. President.